there's no show an hour before this one.
You know what's incredible?
He leaves his show at 12:35 and comes upstairs and contributes nothing, where he could have just made sure we were set up to ready to go. But he decided not to do that. He decided to lollygag.
I haven't heard the word lollygag in quite a while.
Well, that's what he was doing. He was lollygagging instead of making sure our show was ready
Happy
to go.
Monday, Alex Strofe.
If lollygagging was the correct word to use, maybe I'd give him some props. But he acts like I was just sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
I saw him writing up a title. I see the shared screen. I was like, all right, my man's working on it. He's going to get up. I have trust.
Should have been working at 153, not
At
203.
153, I was making sure we got everything to talk about Giannis once again, Kyle.
Oh, Kyle versus Strofe just heats up every single week.
Actually, I was gonna be the bigger person tonight, Benny. I was gonna be the bigger person.
What happened,
Kyle? What happened yesterday on Sunday Karma? What was the very first thing you said on the air yesterday? You said, "Hey, Craig, Mr. CEO, Strofe yelled at Homer this week."
Oh my! You a snitch like that?
Snitched on him.
Dang!
You tattled on me at 10:01 a.m. yesterday.
I think it was. I think one of us said something disrespectful during that moment, and then
So you guys are carrying over your
continue
Sunday
over the
conversation
disrespect.
on Sunday Karma, 10 to noon across East Wisconsin, to 2 o'clock.
That's not you,
that
that's
Brad
him.
and I don't want to deal with this, but you're yelling at him, he's yelling at you. Like, get over it, grow up.
Wait, I'm yelling at him because our stream wasn't going. He's trying to bring up something from over 24 hours ago. I didn't even know he was bothered by it.
Did anything prompt bringing up that Homer was insulted by Strofe?
Yeah, something did. I don't know.
Homer wasn't insulted by Strofe. That's why Kyle shouldn't have brought it up anyways. Because Homer's actually mad at Kyle for telling him how to think.
I think he told Craig that as well, but it was just Craig really didn't like that. He kind of like, he didn't like that Strofe disrespected Homer like that.
But he didn't disrespect Homer. Homer himself said he did not disrespect him.
Homer
because
don't know what disrespect is no more. You don't know left from right, up from down.
You watch your mouth, old man.
It was a good moment. I'm not gonna lie. Although it would be better.
Benny's team Strofe,
but
I love
it would be better if you had not stayed up all night worrying if he was going to be mad at you. If you stood on it and knew that you were going to be okay. But I will also take blame because when you'd said it, I knew it didn't bother Homer, but you know me. After the show, I was like, man, I can't believe he said that to Homer.
Actually, speaking of which, I guess
you
what
snitched
Kyle
on
did,
him too.
What Kyle did isn't that bad because you did the same thing.
I sure did.
His was worse.
He went straight to GM Greg
straight
Stout.
to
You'll
Greg.
never believe what Strofe said.
And that's what really got in Strofe's head right there. Strofe was really messed up after that because Greg was like, what?
Yeah, he did that? Speaking of which, there's no speaking of which in this one. 800-990-3776. Matt and Racine chimes in. Karen Kyle at it again. 20 whole seconds. Boo-hoo. It's not a big deal. Get over with. You're not a better producer in the first place.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I give him that. That's true.
I think Matt and Racine ended that conversation perfectly. Thank you, Matt.
Sorry I hold people to high standards.
Start holding yourself to a high standard.
Yeah,
Hey,
look internally first, Kyle, before you start shooting shots at everyone else.
How quickly do you put on the YouTube stream?
Pretty quickly. We're pretty
quick.
Oh, the one that struggles is the Madison
I
one.
can't wait to go to Sunday Karma on YouTube and go through all the starts of Sunday Karma, and it's going to be like 3 minutes into the show.
Didn't have my camera on yesterday for like the first 3 segments.
That's a lie.
No, he didn't say you a lie. He said that's a lie.
That's a lie. I'm going to say that's a lie.
Yeah, because he's now thinking back. Did I do it right? So
No,
maybe
I did it
make
right.
sure your own house is cleaned up before you start telling other people to clean up their house.
It's the ESPN Madison stream that gets me because I have to get the
because
stream
now
key
we're
from
lashing
them,
out.
And so then
so now you're not taking accountability. You could have reached out and say, "Hey, I need this stream key."
No, I do.
Yeah, not early enough. Not as early enough as you tried geting at Strofe. I can't believe I'm Team Strofe right now.
Yeah,
What's going on?
I don't know.
It is crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, it is
This is awesome. Earlier this morning, Sham Sharania of ESPN was on Get Up, and Greeny acted like this was a bombshell of news. And here's why it's not a bombshell of news. It's something we've all known and been talking about here for 3 straight weeks. It's one of my favorite clips from Giannis when he sat down with his brother Thanasis on Thanasis' show, and he talked about what's most important to him moving forward. First, we're going to go to Shams and his report. Then we're going to rewind the clock and say, hey, you know what? This isn't new.
we've known over the last several years, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been very open-minded about at least expressing that he is going to explore options because his goal is to win a championship. He said it over the years that my goal, I only want to win and compete for rings. He said it on his brother Tanas's podcast last month that if I don't retire, if I retire without winning a second championship, he's not going to be able to essentially sleep at night. And so that's his goal. What is that best long-term fit?
Spit it out, Sham. Spit it out, man.
Yeah, you stutter when you making stuff up.
But I will say, we know that it was like the championship that he wants to do that. He's like Sham said, like that is his goal for the remainder part of his career, win a second championship. But isn't this the first time it's been publicly reported that he's open to doing that with another franchise?
No. It was no one said anything about another franchise. He's literally he mentioned Thanalis' show. This is the clip from Thanalis' show. Do you hear Giannis in this clip say anything about doing it with another franchise? He just says what his goal is.
I love the championship we won. I love the run. I love the people that we were together, the people that we won it with. I love how it played out, being down 2-0, me getting hurt, Chris going crazy, Drew doing his thing, Bobby not playing against Brooklyn, then coming against Atlanta, the Hawks, and killing them. I love all that, but that's in the past. And the way you won then, that's not the way you're going to win in the future, right? So that's in the past. Now we just gotta create some new memories. So yeah, I'm trying to win a second ring, man. I really believe it. And I'll say this here. This is one of my goals. Like, everybody plays to win, but like me not having a second championship, like I look back at my career and everybody can say, oh, he had an incredible career, active Hall of Famer, first ballot, whatever. But like me, my personal goal, like if I'm not able to help my team win a second ring, like I'm letting down myself.
That was Giannis Antetokounmpo on the Thanalis show, and I believe with pretty good certainty that is the clip that Shams was referencing about Giannis wanting to win a second championship. Being open-minded is nothing new if you're somebody who wants to win a championship. Giannis contemplated retirement. He was open-minded about doing that. Giannis won a championship. And since then, I guarantee if they didn't make a trade to bring Damian Lillard in or do something differently if they felt the franchise wasn't going in the way that Giannis hoped, then he would still be open-minded. And he should be open-minded because that's what all human beings are. We would be stupid not to be open-minded to all the different possibilities to reach our goals. Now, it's up to Giannis to decide if the Milwaukee Bucks give him that best chance to win a second championship. It's not up to us, it's up to Giannis. Now, if you want to take Sham's report as he's looking at other teams, you can. You could also listen to that clip strictly from Giannis 3 weeks ago, because this isn't the first time he publicly said something like this, because it was 3 weeks ago. We've discussed this clip at length. Now, if you think that Sham's reporting it on the day of the lottery, the NBA lottery, changes things in your mind, I'm open to hearing you out, because it is a potential possibility that something could happen tonight that would entice the Milwaukee Bucks or Giannis to do something. But we don't know until that happens.
I don't know. It feels different this time. Something about this feels different. I know Giannis
you also woke up and said you're going to give the defensive line, the Green Bay Packers, another free pass. So
anything can happen, boys. I did say that, and I still believe that. One more year, at least 6 games for the Packers D-line. I'm giving them that to prove that they can do it. But regardless of that, this feels a little bit different. This team is getting older. This team is pushing up against the cap. No longer do we look at this and say, oh, I see a viable path in the short to medium term for the Milwaukee Bucks to win a championship or be championship contenders. If we see that, then certainly Giannis sees it. So even though who knows what the sources are that Shams was talking to, if it was just Giannis on the Thanalis show, that's not a whole lot. Maybe there is more, maybe there isn't. But it just seems like this is the time where everything's coming together, where the future has never been darker or more murky for the Milwaukee Bucks. And Giannis, looking at the rest of his peak prime years, He's wondering, when am I going to win that next championship? And there is something in that clip that I never noticed the first time around, but I just noticed it. He said, the way you won the first one isn't going to be the way you win the second one. Could he be talking about team?
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to be Shams?
Think about it.
Breaking news. Giannis may not want to be with the Bucks as the team he wants to win the championship with.
The way you won the first one isn't going to be the way you're going to win the second one.
That's every championship season, Brad.
I don't know.
No, Brad, I think you're looking way too deep into this one.
I don't know, guys. That could be.
I'm disappointed in Brad today. Now
I'm just saying that. Listen, if you're Giannis,
you're putting your own feelings into Giannis right now.
If you're Giannis, you want to stay with the Bucks?
If I'm Giannis, I want to stay with the Bucks. Giannis is loyal, but in reality, when I look at this team around me, as you said, it's getting dark for the future. You lost Chris Middleton, and you saw Chris Middleton go from the player that he put the team on his back in 2021 to help get you past the Atlanta Hawks to a guy that couldn't really be on the court too often, couldn't play defense because his body was falling apart. You moved on from him. You look at a Damian Lillard. He's not the same Damian Lillard you saw 3-4 years ago. He's a Damian Lillard that constantly injured, having little nagging injuries because he's getting up there in age. I was going to say,
you got to add in he had those nagging, but now he's out likely for the entire year with Achilles.
And so realistically, when you look around at this potential roster and the turnover this roster is going to undergo this offseason, then also next offseason, Giannis can't look to the future and say, I know I'm going to have these guys with me for the next 4 to 5 years. He doesn't have that. When Giannis came up, he knew he had Chris, right? He understood that they brought in Drew, so he had Drew Holiday, so he could see a future with who was going to be his running mates. He has no running mates right now. So if I'm Giannis, I would be open-minded to what my possibilities could be, because at the end of the day, he has given Milwaukee everything that we could ask for. Everything we can ask for. And sometimes at a certain point, you have to move on and go to that next chapter. And unfortunately, the Milwaukee Bucks have not done a good enough job to make sure that that next chapter will be with the Milwaukee Bucks, because they haven't successfully swung for the fences and hit.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, doing a good enough job to me is different than it working out, because, like, they have.
If it doesn't work out, it's not a good job.
I know, but, like, they took swings.
Yeah, you struck out. A lot of people take swings.
But they took good swings, and swings they needed to do to keep Giannis happy.
Yeah. And it did not work out. John Horst did not put together a good enough roster, and then on top of that, guys just didn't stay healthy enough for the Milwaukee Bucks to win, right?
All right, so a lot of people coming at Brad right now on the Carbless Talking text line. James the Postman, which I felt this, James. Come on now. The only reason this feels different to Brad is because Shams is reporting it. James the Postman.
Man, I've been on these airwaves saying that we should die with Giannis, but this feels different. This feels different.
Okay, then are you putting your stamp today on you don't believe that Giannis is going to be here?
I don't think he will.
You don't think Giannis will be here?
I want him to stay, but I don't think he will.
So you think this offseason he's gone?
I don't know about this offseason, but I don't think he finished his career.
No, okay, I can see that. I think this offseason Giannis ends up staying with the Milwaukee Bucks simply because of the fact that knowing Giannis and his loyalty, he's going to think, okay, Dame will be back in the 2026 season. So then when Dame comes back, we'll have some cap space. So he's very optimistic when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't think he would actually go into John Horst's office and say, I want to move on. I want to be traded. So with that being said, I think Giannis is still going to be a Milwaukee Buck, even though it may not be in his best interest.
All right. So here's what we do then. I have something on my sheet of paper. Strofe will be taking notes as well. We need to give Giannis a pros and cons list. When you make big decisions, I don't know, it could be a job, it could be recruitment. I know I did this when I was being recruited for all the different schools.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, you didn't know that?
I guess I didn't know you did an actual one, because I've always been an actual one, right? Like when I moved from Madison to Milwaukee, I did it. Yeah.
Pros and cons.
An actual list.
And if you truly don't want to, if you truly believe he's going to be here, I do think that Brad can have that take, because there's reasons, as Kyle just mentioned, as Brad just mentioned, the cap, Damian Lillard, the team's different. He wants to win a second championship. So if that, give me the pros as to why Giannis should stay, and give me the cons. If you don't think he should stay, give me the pros and cons.
If I'm Giannis.
If you are Giannis, you are doing this as Giannis. You are making a pros and cons list for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Pro, staying in Milwaukee. Con, leaving Milwaukee. 800-990-3776, the Carbless Talking text line. Pros and cons list. I see our guys are getting writing. Get your thinking caps brewing, KBN Nation. More, Kyle Bruston-Nortman. Pros and cons list. Hey, next.
And the way you won then, that's not the way you're going to win in the future, right? So
This is Kyle Broston-Nortman, KBN.
Yeah, see, the thing about me is I like
You
a little
like crazy.
I like crazy. I like a little excitement in my life. I like a little bit of drama.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
And now, unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see on the horizon, Green Bay is going to run this thing back and probably pick up an early round draft pick to add to that room.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And you hope that these other guys will emerge and can add, but I don't see them making a J.R. Ewing type change.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at 90's 2K Cafe Milwaukee, Champs Lake Geneva, McGillicuddy's Milwaukee, Kelly's Bleachers Wind Lake, and Magoo's on the Mound Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Biz Expo is May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center. Spend the day at the kickoff keynote event on resilient leadership, thriving and enduring in challenging times, and make connections with customers and other business leaders. Learn from the experts at the strategy seminars on topics focused on technology and innovation, business growth, leadership, and manufacturing solutions. Biz Expo is Tuesday, May 13th. Register now to attend. Biz Expo is May 13th. Go to biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Welcome to the NBA playoffs. The moment we've all been waiting for is here.
The fans now on the edge of their seats.
It's time to stay locked in to every single moment.
What a finish!
Because you never know when history will be made. When it's win or go home, every moment matters.
You gotta be kidding me!
So don't miss a thing. NBA playoffs presented by Google continues on ABC, ESPN, and TNT.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Kyle Broston-Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
A lot of people are saying this is the 10th year in a row of this. He's not leaving. Wake up. That's from Dumpy in West Bend. A lot of people pointing to loyalty. Brad says this feels different. If you heard the clip from Giannis himself, He wants to win a second championship. That's a personal goal for him. A personal goal for him. So you do have to take into account, if Giannis doesn't believe he can do that in Milwaukee, that has got to be part of his pros and cons list, which we will do here on Kyle Bruston Nortman for Giannis. We'll just do it for Giannis. Pros and cons list for Giannis. And you, KBN Nation, on Kyle Bruston Nortman can chime in 800-990-3776 or on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee or at ESPN Madison. We can send it around the horn. Anyone that doesn't have to be all at once now.
Well, should we do one at a time and stick to one side, and then we shift to the other one? We go one at a time until we have elapsed our list? How do you want to do this?
I probably just go through my full list.
Oh, wow. Just take them all?
My chicken scratches.
Oh,
you just want to take
my
you
pros
just want
and cons. We'll go through pros and
Oh,
we'll
I
go
thought
cons.
you said your whole list. That would make it seem like your whole pros and cons.
No,
We'll start with
just
pros,
one.
Kyle. Give us your
We'll
pros.
have Brad go first, just in case.
I'll do a pro. and you
Jeez,
do a
guys,
pro?
this isn't that hard.
Fine.
I'll do
Give
one
me your
pro.
pros, Kyle. Give me your pros.
Go for it.
The first pro is this, Giannis. Listen, the money good here in Milwaukee. That dollar stretches. It stretches good. It ain't like New York. It's so
So
expensive.
your first pro is the local economy?
Listen, the money good. that big house he got that he probably paid $1.5 million for, that's a $10 million house in California. The money stretches. All the $1 million stretch good here in Milwaukee. And then on top of that, listen, Giannis, you're loyal. The loyalty's here. That's what it is. You're loyal here to Milwaukee. We are loyal to you. You gotta love that. Your family's been here. We made you a child of the city. We brought the Antetokounmpos here. Some of them went to Dominican high school. Some of them went to USM. You are part of what we are here. And then you can be like Kobe. You can be like Kobe. You can be like Tim Duncan, but you can be like the guys that stayed with one team forever. You can be like Dirk Nowitzki. You can be like them all. You can be in a special, exclusive class of guys that not only won championships with their teams, but only stayed with one team. And that's it.
Bradley Nortman.
Well, I've got some of the ones that Kyle won't repeat those. Two that I have are a little bit different. And this one is what you just said, but his brand, right? The Antetokounmpo, the Giannis Antetokounmpo brand matters. And part of his brand is being different than other superstars. Other superstars, they will go chase the ring. They will hop teams. They will join forces. That is not Giannis. That is not his brand. So consistently with his brand. The other thing is off-court opportunities. I truly believe that staying a Buck will forever have him linked with the state of Wisconsin and Milwaukee. If you start jumping teams, it waters down the connection with each team. Look at Kevin Durant. I mean, Kevin Durant has really no real association with many teams. I think when you stick with a team, it increases your post-career off-field opportunities.
Off court.
Sorry, I'm thinking football.
Can anybody else realize that none of this had to do with the product on the basketball court?
Yeah. Giannis, please stick with
Well, what's your pros? Anybody got pros?
I got one more that is basketball related.
Okay, what is it? Oh, his brother can be around. The Nassus.
That's not what I was going to say, but true.
He might sign elsewhere. The different team.
I don't know if he's going to get the quasi-GM ability elsewhere like he's had in Milwaukee.
Maybe true.
You think he's at GM? I mean, he forced him to keep Chris Middleton, which turned out to be terrible for
the Bucks. Then he's partially to blame for the product.
He is.
So Brad continuing his stance of blaming Giannis and wanting him gone.
I don't want him gone at all.
Making us re-sign. I shouldn't say making. I don't know if that's true. But him probably having an influence in Chris Middleton, his boy staying, hurt the Bucks.
And honestly, if Chris Middleton would have stayed healthy, maybe they could have
Chris
run it
Middleton wasn't healthy when he signed the agreement.
Ben, did we miss any?
No, you just about covered it. Home is where the heart is.
Yeah, that's
powerful. It's written on a pillow somewhere.
Can make the most money.
Yeah, cha-ching, baby, cha-ching. Yeah. Because, it's a difference between $175 million and $155 million. I mean,
can bring a second championship to the city in his tenure, which would be obviously the third ever. Now, to me, that's cool, right? To us, that's cool.
Can he, though?
Yes. He still can. I mean,
we know he can.
Based off his age, and if he were to stay here a longer period of time, he can't do it next year. But if he were to commit to Milwaukee and stay here longer and not ponder options and not leave, then yeah, I really do believe. I mean, they literally took the Pacers into a game in which they would have had them back home in Game 6, and the Pacers look like they're going to walk their way to the Eastern Conference Finals. So you can re-legislate how close we
lost to the team that may go to the finals again, Giannis.
Yeah, but Ben, you ridiculed us for not only for me thinking they would win a championship this year, but even you did not go on the same bet with us that they can win one series. So this iteration of this team can't do it. They have to reset.
According to Ben.
Here's what I need, because a lot of people want to yell and scream, but nobody's providing the on-court basketball solution.
It's because it's hard.
It's because it's not a very easy pitch right now.
Yeah.
I know.
That's on the cons
but the
list.
key words.
Right now.
But he'd have to wait, what, at least a year, maybe two, before there's a glimmer of hope?
I would say a year. He'd have to go through this year, and they'd have to trade Dame for even more assets or things they can do.
Dame ain't worth too much a year.
Get a couple of those second-rounders back?
It's worth than anything he will do on the floor after an Achilles at that age.
It's just long we don't find ourselves in the predicament that we did with Chris Middleton, where we had to dump Chris Middleton's contract and give up a potential asset and get Kyle Kuzma.
As Chef Ed chimes in with this, again, I'm just going to read his pros. The pros: in his heart, he loves Milwaukee and the things the Bucks have done for him and his family.
That's true, too.
No. This is trash. I'm telling you this right now. When you got recruited to Wisconsin was 1-11 football program. Would you give a damn about you being from Wisconsin?
No.
Exactly.
Joe in Milwaukee, you're on the Carb List Talking text line 800-990-3776. You got a pro here for Giannis staying in Milwaukee?
Yeah, the pro is this, gentleman. You will never, ever, it's the WWE line here, ever draft another player like him again. It ain't happening.
Now I agree with you, but we're doing this as if we were making a list for Giannis to stay.
Kareem?
Yeah, but that was
50 years ago.
Yeah,
you said never, ever.
Okay.
Ever.
It's a point taken.
I'm thinking more about Ben's, right? He can get a second championship. If he were to get a second championship in Wisconsin, he would go down as probably the greatest, not just Milwaukee Buck, Wisconsin superstar. He'd be more than Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Those guys have one championship.
Do we
each.
not realize his legacy is already cemented? Like,
it's debatable.
Well,
he himself wants a second championship because he said having one. There's a lot of people with one.
Right now, one could debate Giannis, Rodgers, Favre, Bart Starr, Lombardi. If Giannis wins a second for the Bucks, there's no conversation.
Yeah,
there's no conversation.
Yeah, I mean, he's already in a conversation that very few are in.
For sure. He's Mount Rushmore, but he would be a single statue.
Sure. If you say,
Dude, I'm just coming up with ideas, Kyle.
No, I mean,
don't shoot him down. No, there's brainstorm.
Yeah, the brainstorm sucks. Are you taking this job? Are you taking the job, Trophy? If these are all the pros, would you stay with the Bucks?
We
if
haven't
these are
gotten
the
to
pros?
the cons.
Well, I've heard zero cons, so yeah, I'm taking the job.
It's all very pro.
When we come back, I hate to do this, the cons. It's the pros and cons list that we're writing for Giannis Antetokounmpo as to why he should stay a Milwaukee Buck. Now, whether or not these pros outweigh the cons of, what is going to be a lengthier list, you have something you want to add there, Strophy?
I was just going to recap our pros real quick. Because it's not a great list. I'm going to be honest with you. We have the following.
It's the best list we can come up with.
The local economy and money stretches from Kyle Wallace.
Such a good way to start.
Giannis like his money now.
That's a money mindset man right there, Kyle Wallace.
Number 2 is loyalty from Kyle Wallace. Number 3 from Kyle Wallace, be like Kobe, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, Steph Curry, etc. Brad chimes in with his brand and the Milwaukee connection. I chimed in with quasi-GM, and Ben added he can be the leader on another championship team.
A second championship, which led to the Brad conversation of putting him ahead of all other one champion figures in Wisconsin sports. Brewers haven't won one. The basketball team of the Badgers haven't won one since 1941. Marquette hasn't won one since the 70s. You have the Packers haven't won one since 2010. That was Rodgers. Then you had Favre in 96. Am I missing anybody?
No.
Milwaukee Wave. Keith Tozer had a nice run.
And
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Keith Tozer is?
We don't. And we're going to go to the cons.
Keith Tozer, yeah. You're Milwaukee boys
youngsters,
know it.
yes.
Well, Milwaukee County, suburbs.
How long was that?
I'm mostly just
Might have been
upset
pooping yourself.
because a lot of people get mad at this conversation. They're like, he's not going anywhere. We do this all the time. This is something that we talk about all the time. But when I ask for pros, I get crickets. When I play the potential clip from Giannis of him wanting a second championship and it being a goal for him, don't you need the on-court more than the off-the-court in order to achieve the personal goal? Like, that's where it's hard for me. This thing's hard. I don't like this. Need more pros from KBN Nation. Cons are next on Giannis.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
I'm not Mr. Education. I think that's very clear.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not anti-education. I'm not very educated. And is that fair?
That's fair.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
The Bog in Saukville is Ozaki County's best golf experience. 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer cater to golfers of all skill levels. Settled amongst over 250 acres of beautiful private land, the Bog offers a truly unforgettable golf experience. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, and after your round, have a signature cocktail while enjoying our Friday fish fry from the clubhouse overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy the Bog.
Looking for a Milwaukee tradition? It's Saz, and for nearly 50 years, Saz's have been serving up award-winning ribs that'll make your taste buds dance. Don't miss our festival-famous mozzarella marinara, the appetizer that put us on the map and keeps Milwaukee coming back for more. Whether you're heading to a game or just catching up with family and friends, make Saz's your place to go. 55th and State. Saz's, where memories are made and stories are shared, one delicious bite at a time. Saz's Steakhouse, the finest. A Milwaukee tradition since 1976.
Hey, want to make your next meal a little less ordinary? Well, head to Quick Trip. Hey, we are so back serving up our legendary No Ordinary Chicken. Yeah, your dinner is hand-breaded, fried to perfection, ready to eat for tonight's dinner. Or you can buy it cold, sealed fresh for tomorrow's lunch. You know, we love to make life easier for you. This isn't just any chicken. It's Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Stop into your local Quick Trip today and taste the difference.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
This is Kevin Van Rossum, president of 3 Tree Marketing. If your company is struggling to create a buzz or just looking for a new way to stand out, our team is here to help point you in the right direction. We'll assist you in building your brand and prove we truly know what works. Experts at 3 Tree can build a one-of-a-kind gifting experience that can set your brand apart and show how much you value your customers as well as your employees. At 3 Tree Marketing, we chase partners, not orders. Visit 3treemarketing.com to learn more about what we can do for you.
Let's talk about Home Turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I've got some bad news. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman hanging with you on a Monday. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin with Strofe running the show. Coming up with a pros and cons list for Giannis, who's everywhere I look. I look up on the TV, there he is. NBA Jump, there it is. Twitter, there it is. This morning when I wake up, Get Up, there it is. On Sportsmanlike, there it is. Giannis is everywhere because Shams reported that he is open-minded to the idea of moving on. I'm not going to lie. During the break, I had some self-reflection. I hate that pros and cons list that we came up with because we just came up with pros and the pros had nothing to do with basketball.
Hey, sometimes that's what it is. That's how you know. You make a pros and cons list so you can make a decision. And, I mean, you may hate all the pros we have made, but it might be telling of what Giannis is doing right now with his family.
Well, should we see what the cons look like? Because maybe they're not as bad.
We'll do that in a second. Let's go to Leroy in Milwaukee. Leroy, you're up on the Carbless Talking text line. How you doing, Leroy?
You don't want to know, Ben.
What's going on?
You don't want to. Kyle, KBN Nation, Kyle, Brush, and Norman, y'all. I love y'all. I listen to y'all every day at work.
Love you too, brother.
Brush, you know we go way back.
Way.
Two flat tires on a flat Cadillac. But my heart is hurting because we finna lose him. I feel it.
We don't know that, Leroy. We don't know that for sure.
I'm trying, Ben. You could tell Josh, and you'll know I'm a forever and Scalzo. I love you guys, but I'm hurt, man. I feel it.
Don't grieve yet, Leroy. Leroy, don't grieve yet. Do not grieve until something is real. Just because Shams came out with this today doesn't mean anything's changed in the last 3 weeks.
Leroy, can I just tell you?
I understand that, Ben. I understand that, but I'm hurt, man.
We all
feel it.
Well,
I don't want to lose him. I don't want to lose him, my nation, y'all.
We gotta be. If he's gonna be open-minded in this relationship, if your significant other is open-minded, then you need to be open-minded. Doesn't mean that y'all got to get rid of each other. Maybe it means you got to go to a little bit of counseling, got to have some conversations. But as Bucks fans, we should definitely be open-minded and mentally and physically prepare ourselves for Giannis leaving. But do know Giannis gave us some of his best years. And that's what we can hang on.
Kyle,
Leroy, we love you.
Thank you, Leroy.
I don't like the way you ended that.
Kyle, you're talking about Giannis being open-minded. Well, if he's being open-minded, then we need to be open-minded. This is like...
Can I ask a question quick?
Of course.
Leroy said, we go way back like 2 flat tires on a Cadillac, and Brad just casually said, powerful. Brad, what does that mean?
2 flat tires on a Cadillac. One can only assume that that reflects that those tires have worn themselves out to the brim. The tread is gone, and they have flattened out. You know those 2 tires have been through a lot of mileage together. Therefore, if you go way back, like 2 flat tires on a Cadillac, then you go way back. Because a Cadillac can put some miles now.
Yeah, 2 flats on the Cadillac. That's what it is. He'd go way back, him and Ben Brust.
I'm not going to lie, he hurt my heart.
Yeah, I mean,
that was sad.
It's a reality we all have to face.
Send it to Giannis. Send it to Giannis.
Oh, yeah, tag him on social.
Good idea. We know Giannis has a heart, so this might also
replay that call with Leroy on Twitter at KBNESPN.
Then just tag Giannis.
Tag Giannis, the Analysis Show.
Yeah.
This cannot happen. This is the impact you would have. Play to the emotions of one Giannis Antetokounmpo.
We love you, Yanni.
Yanni,
we love you, Yanni.
We can't live without you.
No, we can't. We can't.
Was I right about the tires?
Yeah, I
thing?
would say you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Does anybody know what that means? Like,
I've heard the
literally?
saying. I also heard the saying. We go.
heard that.
Really? We go.
So
we
what does
go
it
back
mean?
like an old man hairline. You ever heard that
Say
one?
that again?
We go back
heard
like
that
an
one.
old man
Oh,
hairline.
that
you
one
means you
speaks
go,
for itself.
That means you go way back, like 2 flats on the Cadillac.
2 flats on a Cadillac.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Very beautiful. I'm shocked you never heard it before.
Never heard that before.
What do y'all say?
I learned so much through KBN and KBN Nation.
I learned that.
I'm so thankful.
I really learned that communities have their own little stuff going on inside of it, and other communities have no idea. It's crazy.
Well, we all have our own
dialect.
Over to the KBN Sports Desk, I think Leroy chimed back in to talk to Strofe separately.
Leroy just called me. He said, I love you guys. I listen to you every day. I'm hearing you right now. Tag it, tag it, tag it, tag it. I'm hanging up. Tag it. And he hung up.
Seriously. I want Giannis to know the pain that Leroy will go through. Giannis didn't even leave, and I thought we had like a 30-year marriage breakup call on KBN.
But the problem is, fellas, it's not because of Giannis. It's because of us. It's because of the Milwaukee Bucks. That's the sad part about it. We all, in reality, we look at this Bucks roster and we know that we haven't been a good enough partner. We've tried.
You just came to that realization? You didn't think of that before the playoffs?
Because it's like the open-minded phrase, right? What does open-minded mean? In a relationship, that's like you look at your significant other. In the past, you would never open up the DMs. Never. But the relationship, the chick on the other side, she's getting a little crazy. Not a bright future. Now, you're opening them up.
Dirty
You're
D,
open.
Diana McGuanago, you're up on the Carbless Talking text line. Happy Monday, Dirty D.
Happy D. I got my prize pack, Stroh. I was pleasantly surprised. I do need to ask you guys, though, if you have any recommendations on which good pizzas to get.
That's pretty easy. I mean, it's the Screamin' Sicilian brands. Guys?
Oh, my. I mean, yeah, I love
no,
Holy
hang on,
Pepper.
guys. You know how we had the Cheez-It pizza?
Yeah, I sent it to some folks.
I went for Friday, Frozen Pizza Friday at the Brust household. I already had 3 in my freezer. I had a tavern style, a Boss Hog, and a stuffed crust.
Yeah.
I went to the store and I got a Cheez-It.
Oh, did you eat it?
Yes,
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah.
It was
What did
so
fiance
good.
It's a revelation.
She got a slice upstairs.
Oh, wow.
When we had it on Thursday.
she should.
Diana, any Palermo's pizza brand, neighborhood Connie's, Urban Pie, but the Screamin' Sicilian, so screamin' good. You should taste what all that screaming is about.
Do they have anything with just like a cheese and pepperoni? I have a daughter with
Holy
custom needs in it.
pepperoni! They got the Bessie's Revenge, which is a 4 cheese. Diana, they have it all. Trust me. Go to your local grocer, look for Palermo's, and that will get it done. Ben Brusk,
Okay,
Kyle
my other
Walsh.
question
Oh, okay.
for you. Hey.
Yeah, get him inside, Dirty D.
Tell them, Dirty D.
No, he does this to me all the time. He never lets me finish, and he hangs up on me. Where are these people that are writing this stuff and this speculation? Where are they getting this information from that they're putting stuff out there like this? Because
It's a good point by Diana.
Strofe just took you off the air, not me.
I must say, I have wondered all day, what exactly does open-minded mean? Because if I do say so myself, I like to think I'm a pretty open-minded individual. I'm not really certain on what the open-minded report we've learned today from Shams Charania even means, Bradley.
It doesn't mean anything other than what we already know.
Think about when something's open. Open door. Open roofs. Open businesses. An open window, like Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Things get in. When something's open, things get in. When things are closed, they don't get in. What's getting in to Giannis's mind right now is the question. Because it was never open in the past. But now, it's open. And things can get in.
Didn't Giannis say in the past on like a podcast overseas that he would be willing to go somewhere else?
No.
He also said they'd have to kick him out of Milwaukee.
drag him out of Milwaukee.
He said a lot of things, fellas.
He's open. He's open to be
an open book.
An open book. Open enrollment.
I utilized that once in my life.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Finally off the parents' insurance.
Closed off. The opposite
of open-minded.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Did we learn anything?
No.
It is stupid. I'm just going to tell you this right now. No shot at Shams. He's an excellent reporter. But Shams is he's just grasping at straws.
Guys, it's the day of the lottery.
Yeah, it's
the day of the lottery, and Brad's falling for it.
Isn't he the foremost voice in NBA Insider right now?
Yeah, but he has a boss, and the boss said we need to drum up some type of talking points today. And the talking point today is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So Giannis is not interested in listening to any other thing. He is committed to being a Buck for sure, closed-minded.
Well, what I'm saying is this is probably not the first time he has been open-minded. Giannis was probably open-minded back in 2023 before he signed his contract extension with the Milwaukee Bucks, as the Milwaukee Bucks didn't put together a championship team about potentially leaving. I don't think it's a coincidence that he signed with the Bucks after the Bucks traded for Dame Lillard. He closed that controversy back then. I'm just saying, hey, I'm reporting Giannis is open-minded leaving the Bucks.
The problem
Tell us about carbless right now.
Well, I'm going to need one after tonight.
Open up.
A carbless. I see what you did there, Ben. Open a carbless. You know that's what I'm doing, KBN Nation, because they have all the things that I love. It's low carbonation, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, and 0 carbs. 100 calories per can, and so many flavors to love, like the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack and the mango. But here, you got to listen to this. Carbless is trying to open up AmFam to you. They are giving away a sweet night at the ballpark. Thank you to Carbless and ESPN Wisconsin. Here's what you got to do. Go to your local grocer. That's what I do. That's where I get my Carbless, is my local grocer. You got to scan that QR code at the retailer with Carbless, and you can get a chance to win a sweet night at the ballpark. 14 game tickets, 6 parking passes, free food and drinks, plenty of carbless for that night, and a luxury suite at American Family Field. The giveaway ends on May 31st, so don't miss your shot. Pick up that carbless, a couple cases if you're like me, and scan that QR code for your chance to win the sweet night at the ballpark. Carbless just keeps on opening up the summer for good times, because less is more with Carbless.
I actually believe I agree with Ron and the Key on something. I'll tell you what that is next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Things ever happened to you from a breakup?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, no.
I don't want to talk about it.
You brought it, so I had to ask.
I ain't gonna put my old shorties on blast, but
why not? They're old shorties.
I've had some
old shorties.
My parents listen to this show. I don't want my parents to know the craziness that I've dealt with that they son been a part of.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your chance to spend an afternoon on the links with ESPN Milwaukee is just a tap away. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open happens July 15th at the Ball Golf Course, and we're inviting a lucky ESPN Milwaukee fan and 3 guests. Hang out with your favorite ESPN Milwaukee hosts, play around at one of Wisconsin's most popular courses, and enjoy food and drinks throughout the day. Open up the contest tab in the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to win this fan foursome with ESPN Milwaukee.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves. Are you talking about the One Collection? Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One Collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
Visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's what you wait for all week. The three-pointers, the rebounds, the thrill of every shot. Win or lose, it's the hope that keeps you coming back. The dream that this time, it might be your year. And so you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when the pressure's on, your support is everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
To be labeled as bourbon, a whiskey must be distilled from a mash that is at least 51% made of this grain.
What is corn?
Correct.
I'll take liquor for 800.
A cocktail of rum, grapefruit juice, lime juice, simple syrup, and maraschino liqueur is a daiquiri named for this American author.
Who is Ernest Hemingway?
Correct again, Marie. You're on a roll.
Liquor for 1,000, Ken.
Taking a shot of whiskey and immediately chugging a beer is a quote-unquote recipe for this drink, named because it was once served to workers ending their shifts.
What is a Boilermaker?
Unbelievable. Where can you find the best variety of beer, wine, and liquor?
Well, Ken, I am from Discount Liquor, where we have an encyclopedia-like knowledge of all things alcohol. We've been a family-owned and operated business since 1960, and we've all grown up with alcohol as a second language. Our business has literally served multiple generations of Wisconsinites. In Milwaukee, on 51st and Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha, on Main and Barstow.
Discount Liquor. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless talking text line with Strophe running the show. I hate this, guys. I do believe that Giannis will be a Milwaukee Buck. I truly do in my heart of hearts. I believe that this is a lot of noise because it is the NBA lottery tonight, and there's a 6% chance the Spurs get the first pick, a less than 4% chance that the Houston Rockets get the first pick, and those are the two teams that would have something formidable to offer the Milwaukee Bucks, but the Bucks aren't going to care about any of that unless their superstar Giannis goes to them and says, hey, I don't want to be here. They're not going to trade Giannis if he doesn't say, I want to be traded. So ultimately what it comes down to is Giannis ultimately going to get to the point of saying, I want to be traded? And I just have a hard time thinking that he will. And maybe that's blind. Maybe that's just based off pure loyalty that Giannis has showed and believing in what he's continued to show, his actions over his words, because his words have never said, I don't want to be here. And until Giannis says, I don't want to be in Milwaukee, I am going to operate every day as he is going to be a Milwaukee Buck.
I do think Giannis should apply some pressure to the Milwaukee Bucks organization and try to say, listen, we got to figure this thing out. Like, what are we going to do? We have to figure out our direction, because the direction before was just be competitive. Let's just try to get as many veterans around Giannis. Let's build this team around Giannis so we can kind of win the championship. That formula has not breeded any type of success. So at this point now, he needs to go to the Bucks brass and needs to say, hey, John Horst, we need to figure out what is the next 3 years going to look like. Are we going to try to bring in some more veterans to see if we catch lightning in a bottle? Or are we going to try to just have my second act where we bring in some young players and we try to develop some young guys around me so now I'm the leader of a young core? That's what the Milwaukee Bucks have to figure out, because right now what they've tried since we won that championship in 2021, it just has not worked.
It's put them in this spot where it has us going through a pros and cons list, and the pros have nothing to do with the future product on the floor.
And injuries suck, but at a certain point, it was John Horst. It was his job to try to figure out how can we build for the future. Unfortunately, nothing he has done has truly worked out successfully because we have not won a championship. I know Giannis hates the word failure, but to me, the Bucks, they failed in their mission to win a championship. So now we need to see if we're going to dust ourselves off and figure out the new road forward.
The pro from Ron and the Key is about legacy. I don't know if that's on the court, though. Partially it is because he talks about LeBron dragging the teams in Cleveland to the finals, then leaving. We can always talk about KD going to Golden State, but like he's got 3 championships, I believe.
Yeah.
Does anybody look at him differently now? Or
KD?
do you look yeah.
Well, having 3 championships, I'd say, ascends him on the greatest of all time list as opposed to 1 or 0.
Exactly. Which is why this is hard and where Giannis is at in his age and how long he's been in Milwaukee. Because if he does end up saying, again, I'm going under the assumption that until he says, I don't want to be here, that he's going to be here, that if he does go somewhere, he can potentially have a better chance of elevating his overall legacy.
You bringing up KD is actually a great narrative and a story of the grass isn't always greener on the other side, because KD went to a place in Brooklyn where the grass was not greener for him and he didn't win a championship. Now he's down in Phoenix, and this team was abysmal this past year. They fired their coach again, and they're going to be picking in the lottery, and they only have that pick. So that team, they don't know what direction they're going in. And so, yes, something that Giannis should realize is that Dame came here and Dame found out that the grass isn't always greener when he left Portland. Granted, he had more of an opportunity to try to win. It did not work out. For Giannis, those could be stories for him to see, you know what, I could try to go somewhere and form another team, but the grass may not be greener somewhere else. So you're better dancing with the devil you know than the devil you don't.
But the hard part is Giannis should be considered a top 15 player of all time. That's just my opinion. He won't unless he gets a second championship. It's a shame, but it's just the way that the formula works out. You got to have multiple titles if you want to be in that conversation. So if he doesn't get it, he's going to limit his career. The ceiling of his career legacy on the court will be lower than it otherwise would have been. So the question is, where can he get that second title?
And what does he value more?
And what does he value more?
But again, when I hear that analysis show audio about him, he says, my personal goal is to win a second championship. Well, and if you think about how long it took the Milwaukee Bucks to win a championship through 50 years, and then you think about how close they were in 2019, and then Chris getting hurt in 2022 after they had won it, and then the injuries the last three years, really.
They had like
year.
5 straight years.
That's so hard to build a team. And they traded, they leveraged assets.
No, they did.
So my question to everyone is just, if you were Giannis Antetokounmpo, what the hell would you do? If you were Giannis, Kyle?
If I'm Giannis, I'm a loyal person, and I ride it out. So logically, I think Giannis, to be very honest, I think Giannis should leave. Only reason I say he should leave because there's other opportunities for him to actually win a championship. And the future with the Milwaukee Bucks in the next 2 seasons looks very bleak. But one thing Giannis and I have in our DNA is we are extremely loyal. I've said it before. I have no interest in working in radio anywhere but Good Karma Brands. I would still be working in higher education if it wasn't for Good Karma Brands. I am loyal to the people that I love and I care about who reciprocate that with me. And I think Giannis has that in his DNA. And I do believe Giannis will be willing to have a little bit of a reset. So then when he gets to age 33, now he has some guys around him. And now in his final couple years of his NBA career, amazing NBA career, he could potentially take some swings at winning the championship.
So you're saying logically he should leave?
Yeah, logically he should
leave. Logically, what do you think, Brad?
I think logically he does 2 more years in Milwaukee right before his player option. At that point, he will know if the team around him is capable. He's probably got 5 years of peak Giannis left, right? He's 30, 35. He'll still be able to play.
But if you think those 2 years, you're cutting your championship window down yourself.
I think that's the balance between loyalty and competitiveness. I think he'll know at that point, can I win in Milwaukee? If yes, I stay. If no, I go to free agency. And then the free agency team I go to will not have to give up their entire franchise to get me.
But do you waste 2 years? Do you waste 2 years trying to figure that out?
But you likely can enter free agency on a championship-ready team immediately.
Or you can get traded now to a team that makes you an immediate championship. So your championship
and opens up your legacy, as you mentioned, that could grow not in Milwaukee.
I will say worse for the Bucks. is Giannis waiting. Because then you get nothing back.
Can I just tell you guys, the only reason we're having this conversation about Giannis staying in Milwaukee is because we are Milwaukee Bucks fans. We're here local. If you're not a fan of the Milwaukee Bucks and you look at this roster, you look at the situation, you look at Dame being hurt, you'd be an idiot to say Giannis should stay. I'm just telling you this right now.
You'd love to see Giannis
Our loyalty and attachment to the Milwaukee Bucks is the only reason we're rationalizing him staying. If this was another player on a different team, we'll be saying, man, he got to get the hell up out of there. We would be saying
true.
You're saying if this exact same situation was happening in Utah or Miami or wherever, but because it's here, we're blind.
There was a time where Kobe was going to lead the Lakers potentially because the Lakers sucked. They didn't build a good enough roster around him for like a year or two.
Was that about the end of his career?
No, that was in the middle of his career.
Where are we at in like a grief stage, even though nothing's actually happened?
I'm not grieving anything until I hear anything definitively coming from Giannis or his camp. I don't care about all these reports of I think or I've heard. Or no. Until we hear from a source, a legitimate source that says, according to my sources, Giannis told them or Giannis's camp told him. Now, I don't want none of that when I'm hearing from he say, she say. I don't want to hear none of that when it comes to Giannis.
Translation, Kyle is in the denial stage.
What do you mean in denial?
Back in 2 minutes.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls. Right now, get 50% off your windows plus no interest and no payments for 12 months and a free entry door with your window purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Save big on everything for your next painting project when you shop at Menards. Pittsburgh's premier is an interior paint and primer in one that provides excellent all-around performance in an easy-to-clean, durable finish. Save big money on Pittsburgh's premier paint now at Menards. Plus, don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails are here for your flawless summer. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Drinking Carbless and watching the crew is already a win, but now that combination is about to get a whole lot better. Carbless is offering you a sweet night at the ballpark. Your chance to win 14 tickets with food and drinks included to the July 26 game is just one shopping trip away. From now until the end of May, head to your local retailer and scan the QR code to register for your chance to win this amazing prize. A flawless summer night at the ballpark awaits.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
I feel like Kyle Wallace has probably done the best job describing exactly how I feel about the situation with Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Moi?
No,
praise for me.
No name chimed in on YouTube and said the same thing, and I was like, I know. Kyle's saying everything that my protected heart is unable to say.
Am I cooking right now?
All right.
Sizzling?
I wish I never would have.
Now he's
now,
gloating.
now
I think Kyle's onto something.
Kyle's onto something. I regret.
Cooking in the kitchen. Y'all don't know that song?
No.
I'm blowing money fast.
I think I know that song.
I'm in love.
Coco.
Yeah, there we go.
Very
Coca-Cola.
good. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. The roster sucks. They have no cap space until next year. They have no draft picks. Damian Lillard's hurt. Doc Rivers is the coach.
So these are the cons? This is what he's diving right in?
The cons are easy to lay out. You can lay them out in a second.
Yeah, they're not great.
It sucks.
And my thing is, like, we know Giannis
This
is...
pros and cons list is lopsided is what it is. The only thing that's keeping Giannis with the Bucks right now is loyalty.
But my question is, like, loyalty, that means a lot to Giannis.
A ton.
But like, think about the most competitive person in your life. KBN Nation, whoever that is, you guys think about it. Giannis is 100 times more competitive than that guy. Giannis is a freak competitor. So he's just going to turn off that competitive part of his brain and his heart for loyalty, taking the court with a team he knows he can't win a championship with.
Which he's kind of already doing right now.
He is.
And it
That
is.
would drive me crazy if I was him.
Do y'all understand how sad it is? We all watch it. How sad it is to see Giannis give it his all. I mean,
He's got a bunch of bums around him. I feel bad for his
and
ass.
he just be sitting on the bench. He got to watch these cats dance around and move around. All he can do is just sit there and look at his team like, dang. There's nothing we can do. I've tried. Like, he literally tried his best. He put the team on his back. He did the best he could, and it still ended in failure results. I'm just saying.
I know you're just saying. That's why what you said just got me to where I am, because I've been sitting here for an hour telling myself that everything's good. Look, he still may come back, and he would just be the greatest person in the world. Because like Brad said right there, which is perfect, he is more competitive than anyone I've ever seen. The guy gives it all. He gets back up every time. He plays through anything. His knee bent backwards, came back for the final. I mean, the guy is amazing. He's loyal. He's one of the best players in the league. He doesn't complain. He's built different. He's been loyal. He doesn't make friends with anybody. He goes about his business. He trains. He's a family man. The guy's amazing. Yet he goes out there with Damian Lillard hurt. And even when Dame hurt, they did kind of still not play that well. But he's going out there and he's giving it his all, and it's like, look at all these guys around.
Imagine passing the
AJ
ball?
Green's passing the ball in between Gary Trent's legs, and he's like, this is how I'm going out with these guys?
Could you imagine after working your butt off in game one and going to look at the stat sheet and seeing Torian Prince and Kyle Kuzma's stat sheet? Like, bro, like, did they...
Or just their names on your team that's trying to win a championship.
And like, it's one thing, I'm not saying that like there's a right way to play the game of basketball, but if you are still competitive, but like, I'm just going to shoot the ball and play lax defense, that's not Giannis. Like, he takes a physical beating because it's the only way to even try to slow him down. So not only is he putting it all on the court, he is legitimately going to battle physically, knowing that there's bums behind him, and he's still doing it.
And you two are elite athletes, and a lot of you all listening are probably good athletes when you were young or something like that. And so most of us been in a situation where we've probably been like the best kid on a losing team before. You just look around, you just want to cry. You want to cry like, dog, we lost again. I scored all these points. I scored 30 points, and we still
not just points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists this guy's bringing to the table.
Literally, all know how much it sucks to lose, but imagine putting it all out there and looking around saying, dang, we still getting 20 ball? Like,
I'm laughing in sadness right now.
It's sad. It's sad. Because even like Giannis
and they didn't catch any breaks. Vent session. 2019, sure. That sucked, but there are levels to becoming a champion. And 2019 propelled them in learning lessons when they were down 2-0. They were down 2-0 twice. They were down 2-0 to the Brooklyn Nets in this Eastern semis. They were down 2-0 in the NBA Finals and won 4 straight against the Phoenix Suns. That was amazing. So you could talk about building blocks. Did 19 suck against the Raptors when up 2-0? Absolutely. 2020 bubble, weird year. We throw that out. 2021 championship. Then 2022, I'm at the game. He slips on the right corner. I'm like, oh, hell no. Yeah. Chris slips. Then the next year, Giannis tweaks his back. And was that 2023?
Yep, 23.
And then 24, he had the soleus.
Meanwhile, Dame's hobbling around like a decoy out there while Chris Middleton with those bum knees is somehow hitting threes from 30 feet away to send it to overtime against the Pacers. Then this year, Dame has popped Achilles, and Giannis is playing with who? These guys? Yeah. Kyle Kuzma?
It's outside of that 21 year, it is something of a cursed journey for the Milwaukee Bucks. Because 19, they were the best team in the NBA, and they went on to then to play a hobbled Golden State Warriors. That should have been one of many titles. 2020, best team in the NBA.
And then
hello, COVID, and you're in the bubble. If it was a normal year, I truly believe they would have rolled on the win. Cursed.
Make a documentary.
I mean, how often
What could have been?
And how can you can't tell
been.
Giannis these excuses for so long, because at a certain point you just need a fresh start.
You're like, what more do I have to do, man?
No,
I'm giving it my all every day.
You're legitimately cursed.
I'm icing myself 10 times a day so I can give you my all and still not be good enough.
And it was during Giannis's best years too. I mean, he has more years ahead of him, but
he's
that
doing
team,
more statistically now than he was even back then. And back then, he was the best player in the NBA.
He's not. He hasn't said he's left. This is just the reason
It's just
why.
painful.
It's just painful. And the reason why we're at a point where Giannis, quote unquote, is open-minded, whether you believe it or not, is he should, look, let's call it what it is. He should be open-minded based off everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
In that short 5 minutes that we just went around 2019 through 2024, at some point you're just like, damn, man. Damn.
Yeah, and that's why if this did happen, I couldn't blame him for a second. He has never, ever, ever mailed it in. He's always been loyal. He's always chose city and team over self. And at some point, you look at what the future looks like, and you have to start thinking about legacy, your competitive drive. So, like, I would never blame him, right? When these other, like, when, Favre leaves or Rodgers leaves or whoever, like Kareem leaves, there's part of you that's like, man, you're doing us wrong. I couldn't feel that way about Giannis. We could literally ask nothing more from him.
I hope John Horst and the Bucks organization has a plan. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Is that when Giannis meets with his team meets
But we
with the
just
Bucks,
talked about it. What's the plan, Stan?
Listen, I don't get paid the money Horst does. He just got an extension, and so Horst better have a plan of action on how to actually show some sustainability. Not some Jay Crowder for this year, not some, Torian Prince for this year, not some Malik Beasley for this year, but actually a concrete plan of saying we're going to build around you and we're going to add these different pieces that can be with you for years to come.
800-990-3776. This turned into not talking about Giannis's future, but reliving the sad curses of the Milwaukee Bucks from 2019 on. Jason Wilde joins us next. I got to shift gears.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
And make sure everyone's tuning in when we do this, because y'all's faces are going to be like,
it better be sweet.
If you think I'm going to act like that for oatmeal, you're outside your damn
you've never
mind.
had Brad Nortman's oatmeal.
It's not Quaker,
I've also
is
had
it?
chocolate chip pancakes with butter
organic.
and syrup that make me go, oh, baby, oatmeal ain't going to do that.
You'll be surprised. I'm going to do a variety.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Northbound on 43, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Keefe. The southbound side just slow from Capitol Drive down to about Burleigh. Southbound 41, a hefty ride from before Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side is backing up from north of Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Capitol. And then westbound 94, a little bit of a backup coming out of the Marquette, and then back on the brakes from about 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a few showers later on, a low of 52. Then tomorrow, scattered showers, mostly cloudy with a high of 65 at the lake, 74 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 20th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Baltimore Orioles.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 20th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Discover an unreal treasure this May at Potawatomi. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Unreal treasures this May at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Truck drivers, the job you have today might not be the one you want tomorrow, and that's okay. At Schneider, our transfer team is here to help you if you decide the job you picked isn't the right fit, or if you come across life changes that require a different schedule or home time. Last year, nearly 2,000 Schneider drivers transferred to different opportunities at the company that better met their lifestyle. Find the driving job that fits yours and your family's needs. Apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Club Paragon Greenfield, Deer Camp, Milwaukee, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, New Berlin Ale House, and Stenny's Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Awarded Best of Weddings 2023 by The Knot, the Bog is much more than world-class golf. Our clubhouse ballroom offers floor-to-ceiling windows and a breathtaking full-wall fireplace. Our barn venue was inspired by the on-site barn at Hole 6, built in the 1800s. 2 outdoor ceremony sites and a variety of personalized options. Our venues are perfect for family get-togethers, weddings, showers, graduation parties, or any event you are hosting. Call The Bog at 262-292-0740 or visit thebarnofthebog.com.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. The Wolf of Wall Street was on the other day when I was flipping through channel. Great family film.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I'm a naturally inquisitive person.
Holding everybody accountable.
If you feel better about that, I'm happy to do so.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Joining us on Kyle Brust and Ortman, you heard the big voice guy. His name is Jason Wilde. You can listen to him on Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon across these very stations. Jason, how are you?
Good, guys. How are you?
We were reliving some of the past years of the Milwaukee Bucks and the unfortunate bounces and injuries and breaks that happened to them. Now they have a championship, and obviously there was a report this morning from Shams Charania of open-mindedness. I guess my question to you is, you've covered some players that have had long tenures on the Green Bay Packers. Did you ever notice that there was a shift in their mindset of what was most important to them, loyalty versus success?
Yeah, I think the NFL is so different, right? Like very few players, other than I suppose quarterbacks. No one really cares what their mindset is, right? No one really cares if do you want to play here or not? Oh, well, we don't really care that much. You're under contract, and we'll cut you when we want to, but we don't want you trying to dictate anything. And so when I look at my time covering, like Charles Woodson, for example, Charles Woodson led them to a championship. He would have been willing to take a pay cut from Ted in February of 2013 to stay, and Ted didn't even offer him one. He just said, we're going to move on. So it's just a different dynamic with the Packers. And again, I don't know Giannis at all. You know, I certainly have some good friends that work in the Bucs organization that I care about them, and I want them to have a team that's successful. And, you know, we have their games on our air, both in Milwaukee and on the flagship 620 WTMJ and in Madison. I just, you know, I don't know what to make of that report today, other than I don't know who Shams' sources are. And it seems like if you wanted to create some attention for the lottery and teams are hoping that he is open-minded, then getting this out there and creating a buzz makes sense. But again, I don't know Giannis. I don't know his agent. I don't know if they would be the ones to put this out there or not, but it certainly caused waves in our town, that's for sure.
Jason, amidst all this Giannis headlines, the Green Bay Packers assistant coaches did speak today. Was there anything that jumped out from any of the assistant coaches that you thought, that's interesting, as they kind of come back from an offseason with a new-look team?
Yeah, Adam Stenovich confirmed that Elton Jenkins isn't at the offseason program, so all those people that thought I was stirring up drama for no reason, I'll be happy to accept your apology.
Wait a minute. Why is he not there, Jason? Can you elaborate on what's going on?
I don't know. Steno would not tell us, but it doesn't. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes or what's the show you guys are watching? I said The Rookie. Have you seen The Rookie on ABC? Paul and Sid are really into that. So you don't have to be an investigative police officer.
Wait, did you just put us in the same category as the kids?
No, I was trying to use people that would do investigating.
Is
and are
that
good
the
at
show
it.
where they sing about cutie cops?
I don't think so. No, it's about like this middle-aged guy who was like working construction, and then he goes into being a cop. He's the guy that was on that show Castle before this. I haven't watched it, but it's on reruns too. I'm told it's very good. Anyway. You don't have to be a great investigator to figure out that Elton has 2 years left on his contract. He would probably like some, and he's looking for his contract to be adjusted. I don't know that for certain, but I think that's a pretty reasonable guess.
Oh, after we did all this signing of Aaron Banks and the excitement of him moving to center, now we got to deal with this. I'm sure they would get this all figured out. But, Jason, I do want to know. I know we've had this conversation over and over, but I just want to clarify. Why is it that the Packers can't call on Trey Hendrickson? I'm just so confused about why they can't do it or why they won't do it.
Can't do well, all right, first of all, I would think a common man like yourself would side with Elton Jenkins and say, hey, this is my chance to have some leverage, get some security from a team that doesn't like having 30-year-old players on the roster, and I'm turning 30 this year. I would think you'd be pro Elton.
I'm pro Elton. I'm talking about Trey Hendrickson and why the Green Bay Packers refused to keep.
No, I know. I was going back to what you were saying earlier, but now we got to deal with Elton Jenkins. Well, yeah.
No,
but Kyle, you said you used a certain adjective to talk about Jordan Love last year, holding out.
Selfish.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna wait to Elton until we get to training camp. If Elton's holding out at that point, then I'll throw that S word around there for Elton. But I know Elton, he might have a little bit of a temper, so I don't know if I want to mess with Elton based off what happened at the club this past weekend.
Yeah, well, judging from his tweet, which was just a baseball cap, I think he believes that there was some inaccuracy in that reporting. But to your question about Trey Hendrickson, I don't know what the situation is with the Bengals, if they have given him and his agent the freedom to seek a trade, but we don't know if the Packers have inquired. The fact of the matter is he's already 30 years old, and what he wants from the Bengals is a large contract with a bunch of guaranteed money, and I just don't think Goody's interested in that, even though Kyle Wallace is interested in that.
But wouldn't that be interested in trying to put the best potential product on the field to win a championship? I guess that's where my frustration lies, is that I understand that you don't want to handicap yourself, but sometimes if you win a championship, it's all worth it, isn't it, Jason?
Yeah, if you go all in, yeah. Look, you're preaching to the choir. I think, they obviously believe that Rashawn Gary and LVN and the two rookies they drafted, Barron Sorrell and Colin Oliver and Kingsley, J.J. Enigbare, they think they've got the horses on the edge, and they probably feel like they don't have to overpay not only in trade compensation of a draft pick, but also the big bucks to get Trey Hendrickson. Now, again, I can't say for certain that they haven't kicked the tires on that idea. I don't know if they've called the Bengals and asked about his availability. I know that Trey Hendrickson, as I'm sure this is what prompted the question, posted that thing on Twitter, or he gave that statement to ESPN about how there have been no talks, and that's because of the team, not because of him. So, again, I don't I don't know how that'll ultimately resolve itself. But, again, I am pro-player on that. You only have so long to get what you deserve. And if I'm him and I've led the league in sacks and had 17 sacks each of the last 2 years, I think I probably deserve an improved contract, just like T.J. Watt feels that he deserves a new contract.
That's another one. Boy,
I'd take him. I'd take
the
TJ.
fences there.
Kyle, don't get all excited now. Don't get all simmer down
But
over
are
there.
you going to pay them?
Yeah,
Are you going to pay them?
Pay them what they're
Because that's
worth.
part of the equation.
Yeah, you're not Goody. And I guess I want to bring that back to Goody, right? He seems to have a strategy in which he's building a team upon. I believe Rob Domofsky wrote the article about this, 3 to 5 year championship window. What year are they in that window? And what year do you feel like it's most likely trending towards, like, it will be like, yeah, this team is, ripe to win a championship? Because I know you're not big into the odds and whatnot, but they're plus 2,000 to win the Super Bowl, plus 2,200 in some places out of the state. That's not when they won the championship. I think they were 4-1 and 9-1 over the last two championships. And so, what more do they have to do, in your opinion? Or is Goody got to change what he does, or is we just got to see him play it out?
So, first of all, I find it funny that Goody, in that story that Rob wrote, said he doesn't believe in windows. It's kind of like that whole
RAS score
question I asked him about the RAS score. Like, we don't use those. We use something similar. Okay, then you know what it is. We don't talk in terms of championship windows, but we have a 3 to 5 year plan. Okay, that sounds to me like a window. However you want to, okay, you don't want to pay royalties to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you want to call it a plan. Hey, go for it, man. But if I was, I'd say you're doing the same thing that Gene Adell is doing, and that's having a window. So if I'm Goody and I believe in that window or that plan or whatever you want to call it, then I'm saying it's year 3. It's year 3 with my starting quarterback. It's year 3 with some of my top wide receivers. It's year 3 with a bunch of other some of them year 4 with a bunch of crucial players. And so the youngest team in the league thing is maturing now to the point where these guys should be studs. And so my plan is for us to be, I'm talking as Goody here, not referring to the Packers as us. My plan is for us to be competing, for a chance to make the Super Bowl. And then the next 2 years, my expectation is that we're in the Super Bowl. That would, again, taking Rob's story and the way it was presented by Rob, that's the way I would view it.
Do you believe in the plan?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to result. Again, Homer, you guys, we were all involved in this last.
Yes, we were.
Homer calling people idiots for voting that they could win the Super Bowl this year. I don't think you're an idiot if you believe that. I just think you're probably going to be wrong, and that's the reality of the NFL. It's really hard, and a lot of things have to fall your way to make it happen.
Well, I think you're wrong.
Oh.
Well, you're entitled to think that.
That was from left field.
Is this the song Jason's jamming out to?
That's from The Rookie. Cop Cutie. I was right.
Cop Cutie.
So you wanted to end Jason's segment to go to basketball practice, proving that you were right to Jason.
Arrest me, but make it sexy is a line in the song, yes.
Jason, why do you put up with Alex Stroker?
What a line.
He's one of our rising stars, so, talent outs. But, yeah, I don't know the theme. I haven't watched the show. But the way you presented it, in fairness, you made it sound like it was a musical.
I thought it might have been like a nursery rhyme as well, Jason.
Right. They're singing as they arrest you. You have the right to remain silent.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you in the back of the squad. Like, come on.
Arrest me, but make it sexy.
Jason, have a great practice.
All right. I don't know how much golf these kids learned, but they did earn ice cream last week, so I'm happy to be delivering
golf?
that. Yeah, it's a golf practice. Yeah, I know. Shocking.
What?
I'm not the head coach. They have a great coach. who needed a little bit of help, and so
Do you
he
golf,
asked me
Jason?
if I'd be willing to help. Once upon a time, I don't like to brag, but I was a decent golfer.
Cool. What was the lowest handicap you had?
I think I was a 10 at my best.
It's pretty good.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was literally 25 years ago.
Earring Jason era?
No, it was definitely the earring had been removed, thankfully.
All right. Well, have fun at golf practice. I never thought I'd be saying that. All right, Jason.
4.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Nailed it, Kyle. Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Alex Strofe running the show. What's going on over here?
Okay, so I typed in, this can't be the song you're talking about. Cop Cuties.
Is Cuted on duty? Yeah.
No, is the song by Izzo?
I don't know who it's by.
These lyrics are hilarious.
Read me some.
Are you going to tease me or tase me?
Are you sure this is the right show?
What show is Jason's kids and his wife watching?
This song is by Xander Howard.
Okay, I'm going to say this song.
This song sounds like where Elton Jenkins wanted to be.
HBO late night.
Is that this song?
I don't think this is the song.
You have the lyrics.
Arrest me, but make it sexy. It is in this song.
Turn it off! Turn it off! It's bad! Don't tease me, just tease me.
Nasty song. Don't make it sexy.
Is this kid friendly?
Cop Cutie, feeling on Tootie. That's
All
what
right,
they said.
all right, Kyle. All
That's
right.
what they said.
I know.
This is
you're dancing
hilarious.
to it.
This is a good song. Put that in my rotation. When we bump music, I like that one.
I don't know what I did.
More next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
I'm about being young, wild, and free.
No, you're not.
You're
not young, wild, and free.
I am young.
You're not that.
I am
Every time I ask you to
Wild.
do something, I check with a girlfriend.
Wait, why you taking why you going personal? Why you gotta talk about business? I can still be free with a lady.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we got delays northbound 43, basically coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way up to Keefe. On the southbound side, slowing from Capitol Drive down past Locust. Back on the brakes, heading through the Marquette all the way over the high-rise bridge down to the KK River. And then on northbound 41, we've got a little bit of a backup there. At Watertown Plank Road, we've got the left shoulder blocked with a broken-down vehicle. Those delays basically continue all the way up past Capitol Drive up to Hampton. Southbound slowing down from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Partly cloudy, a few showers later on, a low of 52. Tomorrow, scattered showers, mostly cloudy, a high of 65 at the lake, 74 inland. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you. Growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you. Buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you. Building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
To be labeled as bourbon, a whiskey must be distilled from a mash that is at least 51% made of this grain.
What is corn?
Correct.
I'll take liquor for 800.
A cocktail of rum, grapefruit juice, lime juice, simple syrup, and maraschino liqueur is a daiquiri named for this American author.
Who is Ernest Hemingway?
Correct again, Marie. You're on a roll.
Liquor for 1,000, Ken.
Taking a shot of whiskey and immediately chugging a beer is a quote-unquote recipe for this drink, named because it was once served to workers ending their shifts.
What is a Boilermaker?
Unbelievable. Where can you find the best variety of beer, wine, and liquor?
Well, Ken, I am from Discount Liquor, where we have an encyclopedia-like knowledge of all things alcohol. We've been a family-owned and operated business since 1960, and we've all grown up with alcohol as a second language. Our business has literally served multiple generations of Wisconsinites. In Milwaukee, on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha, on Main and Barstow.
Discount Liquor.
2 Wisconsin icons are teaming up on a reworked classic. Cousin Subs and U-Zingers are proud to introduce the all-new Fried Bologna Sub, featuring U-Zingers fried bologna, bacon, American cheese, onions, pickles, mayo, and mustard on fresh-baked Italian bread. And that's not all. Pair your fried bologna with a creamy cupcake shake topped with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Now that's a better combination. Order both in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Anxiety, keep on trying me. I feel it quietly, trying to silence me. Yeah, my anxiety can't shake it off of me.
Check out the Princeton Club in the 8 Madison area locations or New Berlin for a better tomorrow. Got the group text going for the bachelor party.
Yo, getting close, huh?
Doing the post-bachelor party weigh-in to the wedding day weigh-in. Gonna have to grind, baby. I won't be looking my best. And to look my best, I know exactly where to go. That is the Princeton Club for my better tomorrow. No goal is too small or too big. They provide everything you need to be successful, including by having free childcare with the membership, and they're open 24/7. Have that strong body with a strong mind and help have a strong community at the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow. Speaking of strong body and strong mind, feeling like a man today.
Oh, look at you.
Cool. Why are you feeling like a man today?
I'm the man of the house, Kyle.
Oh, wow. What did you do this weekend?
Strofe, I don't know if you have it in the archives, but, there's some woodpecker holes that came through the Brust household. A lot of holes. Now, I did it with help, I
know you didn't do it solo.
Yeah.
Well, no, I did all the manual labor myself. But
what does that mean, manual labor?
I called Daddy.
Okay.
Oh, Daddy, help! And then I sent him a video after he left and helped me for 3 hours that my air conditioning might have something going on.
Oh,
but
no.
anyways, yes, got to get that fixed before it gets really hot.
You got to get the what's called. You got to get the homeowner's insurance.
Oh, I got that.
Warranty.
On the AC?
Yeah, they'll fix that right up. It's worth it.
Well, there was holes, as you can see on YouTube, at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison on YouTube. And the woodpecker, for the listening audience, it looked like it was a drive-by. Somebody came by my house and just
my gosh,
lit up the siding. That's what that woodpecker was doing.
What it was.
And so we got...
Hold on, one more time. What was that, Kyle?
I got the concrete, mixed it all up, went on a 13-foot ladder to the top of my house.
Oh, wow.
13-foot ladder.
That's high, man.
I'd be shaking up
That's
there.
higher than a basketball court.
I felt so empowered.
You didn't feel scared?
No, not scared. No.
Strapped in.
Be
somewhere?
honest.
You had
Honesty, Ben.
Who was holding it? I know your dad wasn't holding it.
No, he was holding the bottom.
Was he?
With his foot.
You trust that?
That's my dad.
I mean, I know your dad. That's like my dad trying to hold something. I saw my dad walking, he almost tripped and fell.
The only thing that made me nervous was when I was up there and I looked down. Not that I was scared of how far it was, but that my dad wasn't really looking up at me.
Yeah, I'm
so
paying attention.
Like if I fell, like as a dad instinct, I'm sure he might try to put his body out in front of me.
The hell he would.
No.
Listen, no
the hell he would. He's lived a good life.
It's like a Kyle Wallace
He's
splat.
lived a good life. I would have splatted for sure. 13 feet up there.
Like the roller coaster.
Ain't no
It
way
would have been
in the world.
splat. It would have been crack. I mean, and maybe
Crack, snap, crackle, pop.
13 feet, though.
That's
on grass.
You probably don't. Yeah, you
13 feet on
die.
grass. I don't know if I die.
Yeah, you break some legs. Maybe you'd finally stop playing basketball.
But I had to mold it into the same way the siding was before. I think I gotta send you guys some pictures because
I didn't know you put cement in that. So does it break off the beak of the
you did
woodpeckers?
cement?
like it's a cement. Yeah,
Like a mixture.
a mixture, and then I can spray paint the color of.
So did
my
you make
home.
you made the right angle? You made it flat and everything?
I did it all with my hands, so it's not exactly. It's not exactly.
it's
No, I
just
mean,
like
no.
blade on.
I have the tool thing. I think they call.
yeah,
What do
yeah.
they call that?
Oh, I don't know.
Smoothing out thing. I know the
A
little gray
smoothing
thing.
out thing. I'm sure that's
I know-
what they
I
call
know-
it.
It's with a V.
I know what you're talking about. The grader.
It's not a grater.
It's like thin.
Yeah,
It's
little
metal.
and it's silver. Yeah.
Yeah, with a sharp edge.
Yeah, and it goes. Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Any painters out there? What's the thing you use to smooth it?
Ben, can I ask you a question?
We sound so dumb.
What? Yeah. Well, we're all not.
That's why I call
handsy,
him
man.
Daddy.
Can I ask? So, what's going to keep the woodpecker from just going to a different spot?
Or the same.
Well, the same. They're gonna hurt their beak on that concrete.
2 inches above it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Man of the house. Man of the house has all the tools to take care of it now.
Oh.
Well.
The holes.
send a
The holes
message.
were easy. It was the big. It was the area.
Oh. So you. So.
The holes. The holes I could just fill and smooth out with my finger.
So you like a Christmas story? Did you get that BB for Christmas?
How did you say?
I'm not going to say that on air.
How
The
did you
DNR might be listening. It's a protected species, that woodpecker.
So you made like the cement mixture to fill in the holes. How did you say you were going to match the paint? Did you say spray paint?
Spray paint.
No, you're not spray painting your house.
I don't think that matches.
Get a
My
brush
dad-
and do it right.
Yeah.
You can't spray paint your home.
Luckily, hopefully they're
What
not.
do you mean I can't spray paint my home? I have the bottle.
Hopefully, when you sell your home,
You do
the
it with normal
listener
paint.
is not a buyer. That is, yeah. That's not. It's not going to look the same.
I've never heard of someone spray painting the outside of their home for patchwork.
Sounds like a
painting.
jackleg job. That's what it sounds like to me.
A trowel.
A trowel.
Trowel.
A
Thank
trowel.
you, Lewis.
So
Thank you.
smart, KBN Nation.
I had a trowel up there.
We are pathetic.
Yo.
Did you ever go to a hardware store and try to explain what you're looking for, and they just look at you like you're dumb?
Yes.
Like, I mean, that happens all
Yes.
the time.
Yeah, I just pay people. I ain't got time for it.
That's why I had to call my dad.
Yeah, I used to try to fix stuff, and then I put a hole in my damn wall.
How'd that happen?
I let the ladies encourage me to do something I knew dang well I should
I
do.
can't wait to drive home tomorrow though and send Strofe this picture of my trough skills.
I'm excited.
So we can put it side by side to the woodpecker holes to my job.
Does it look like a child was playing around with Play-Doh?
Wow. I don't know if I can describe it any better.
It's that bad, huh?
Well,
Guess
I
it
don't
saved you
know.
some money.
It doesn't sound good.
I don't know. Let's let the picture tell the story.
Well, you're not really vouching for yourself.
Man,
Well,
maintenance Mike chimes in. Trowel is what it's called.
thank you, maintenance Mike.
Hey, maintenance Mike, I think Ben has a job for you.
Yeah, he needs some help. He's going to spray paint his home. I still can't get over
My dad
that.
said spray the bottom of the house to make sure it looks like it's close enough
It
first.
matches.
You don't have...
Man in the house, 13 feet on the ladder. Can I get it a hell
I mean,
yeah?
that's impressive. That's impressive.
I give you credit. I wish my house was 13 feet high.
What do you got, ranch?
Yeah, just a little thing. But you know, I'm
So that's
blue
why
collar,
he hasn't invited us.
blue collar
The
hardworking
Wallace
American.
Ranch, the Brust household, and the Nortman Estate, and the Strofe 2-bed.
It goes underground.
Drove too bad.
Mine goes underground too.
That's all I got for you, fellas.
Yes, okay, I get it. It's a trowel, everyone. I get it. It's a trowel.
Do you think they
Where'd you get the trowel from?
My dad.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So your dad's the man of the house.
Yeah.
He's
You
just
didn't do anything.
I went on the ladder and I did all the sculpting.
Congratulations. It took you 8 months.
Sculpting.
You did go on the ladder.
I can't believe you let sculpting go. Wait till you see the pictures of this thing. I ain't sculpt anything. I am not Da Vinci when it comes to siding. I can tell you that much.
I think you could have just finished the sentence and I'm not Da Vinci.
I think Da Vinci was a painter. Michelangelo was the sculptor.
I don't know that we needed a clarification. He's not Da Vinci or Leonardo or any of the Ninja Turtles, okay?
He's
not
nothing of an
Splinter either.
artist.
Thank you, Lasagna. Hell yeah, Ben. Thank you. I'm looking for some love for getting on the ladder. I tried. At least I tried.
No,
You did.
I said I would just pay somebody, so I give you a lot of credit.
Now, this is I know why, that if I became handy, you save a lot more money by not paying people.
Do you just become handy? Or is that something you're born with?
Nah, our generation's trash.
Yeah, our generation's trash.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, Strofe. Yeah, right.
You're
hey,
worse
man,
off.
I was hanging shelves and frames, and
That's it, huh?
I hung a tension rod, 11 feet long this weekend. I was working, baby.
If you could,
yeah, the way you just said I was working, baby, is exactly what we need to know that you're not handy.
You should see this apartment. It's a beautiful shape.
All of our and we're in our mid-30s.
Yeah, you're old.
All of our parents have to be ashamed of us.
No, my dad should be very ashamed. You know what makes me so mad is that man can hang a ceiling fan, and I'm just too afraid to touch it from getting electrocuted. I'm like, dang.
But you turn off the power source.
Yeah, flip the switch.
No,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I understand that, but I'm afraid of doing the stuff
You're
wrong.
afraid of roller coasters, electricity.
Yeah.
What else can we add to the list?
Anything that has to deal with pain and death, I'm past that.
Now, Colin, that was mean.
Death.
That was mean, Colin.
What did he say about you?
You can't repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
Can it be translated?
I would prefer if we didn't.
I think I'm going to pass.
Oh, wow. Colin, that's so disrespectful.
KBN off-air conversation.
Don't disrespect my man like that.
Colin, I'm trying, man.
The problem is, I think you're right. I don't think you're born with it. I think you got to be brought up in it, right? Like to be handy. The problem is, you can only do that with trial and error. There's gonna be a lot of error on our own homes.
Yeah.
So why would you do error?
Yeah. If I paid,
that's a great point.
If I paid $20,000 for a home back in 1980s, I'll have some trial and error too. That ain't the case.
Lasagna in Milwaukee. You have a millennials that aren't handy conversation.
Yeah, I do. I'm a millennial. I'm in my mid-30s. I own my own home, and I give Ben a lot of credit, even though through the text line I give Ben a lot of grief. You kind of become handy.
Well, somehow his call dropped.
Hey!
We do it.
Look, Lasagna.
You just get handy.
Will this project lead to me being more handy?
Absolutely. Yeah, you stack them a little bit. You grab your trowel, and you smushed it into your house.
Hell
now
yeah!
You can paint your drywall.
Hell yeah! Drywall. Here I come.
Wow.
Speaking of smush, what's with the name Lasagna?
Man, you guys don't know? You guys help me pick it out. It's what I know you guys don't like doing promotion, but I happen to know this guy very well that makes it for the city of Milwaukee, and they sell it every October.
Lasagna for the city of Milwaukee.
We helped you pick that out.
What are you talking about?
Lasagna. Text in more context.
I'm more confused than pre-question.
I love lasagna. I would have remembered the conversation. I'm like Garfield.
Lasagna was our Mother's Day meal. One chicken and two Italian sausage. Delicious.
Everything about what you eat sounds so
I didn't make it. My aunts all made it.
Whoa. I got to hit something on the other side here because this is from Stevie, and I don't know. We might have to call Stevie out and make sure everything's going okay in his household coming up next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
You said they are a reflection of their head coach.
Yes, He saw it as he proved with you by signing that damn jersey you had on. You think Campbell would have signed that jersey?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your chance to spend an afternoon on the links with ESPN Milwaukee is just a tap away. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open happens July 15th at the Ball Golf Course, and we're inviting a lucky ESPN Milwaukee fan and 3 guests. Hang out with your favorite ESPN Milwaukee hosts, play around at one of Wisconsin's most popular courses, and enjoy food and drinks throughout the day. Open up the contest tab in the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to win this fan foursome with ESPN Milwaukee.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon, and Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
I'm Monica Kessler.
Monica makes sure that everything at Kessler's is worthy of a lifetime warranty.
The quality of your ring is incredibly important when it comes to diamond setting, ring sizing, and repairs.
Monica has been part of Kessler's since she was 6 years old.
Let me tell you how to judge the quality of the jewelry you're buying.
It's easier than you think.
All you have to do is read the warranty.
Most stores offer a 5-year warranty, but Kessler's offers a lifetime warranty, the strongest in the world.
We can do it because we put more gold in your jewelry.
When a jeweler wants to make a bigger profit, they put less gold into the jewelry. This makes it thinner and easier to break.
Theirs might look like ours at first glance, but Kessler's jewelry is made not to break, and that takes more gold.
We give you a lifetime warranty because our jewelry is made to last forever, just like your love.
Gold is more than $2,000 an ounce.
Kessler's gives you more gold, a lot more gold.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Landworks handles projects of all sizes. From a cozy pocket patio lush with greenery to a grand outdoor hosting space and everything in between. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all of your landscaping needs. The Landworks team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Bandana? Check. Boots? Check. Gloves? Check. As a motorcycle rider in Wisconsin, you may go to great lengths to protect your image. Just be sure you're protecting yourself, too. Wear a Department of Transportation-approved helmet. Perform safety checks on your motorcycle. Know the traffic laws and don't take risks. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. 0 in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
There goes that golden voice like a jungle with all sleeves moving.
Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with you, KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. Listens more. We do know that millennials have a handyman problem. We can't fix anything. And Stevie understands that too. But I think he's taking it a step too far. Next time my dad comes up to help me with the project, I might send him to Stevie's house to make sure everything's okay.
Oh, wow. What?
You started speaking and then said,
You did.
I'm at the edge of my seat. What is happening?
Stevie chimes in. I let my kids help me construct their bunk beds this weekend. K5 and daughter all know what a flathead is, Phillips and hex key, and how to use them. And he sent me pictures of the bunk beds. Should we be letting K5
help? Yeah, I mean, it can help. They gotta learn. That's how you.
What if they missed a screw and then in the middle of the night the bunk bed comes crashing down?
You go tighten the screws.
Yeah.
And you make sure that's
Stevie, did you double check everything?
I would hope so. And if something went,
I don't think they're like putting it up. I imagine they're not lifting anything.
I don't know.
I
bet he left the room and said, "Here you go, figure it out."
Good luck.
I'm gonna make the Wallace kids definitely put in their key because we all.
You don't know how to do anything.
We all gonna learn together. Hopefully, they're smarter than me.
I think.
Wait. You're gonna leave them in the room and you're gonna learn together.
I'm gonna say now. Y'all think we put this here, right? Y'all that work? Go ahead. Okay.
They're gonna be teaching you.
I hope so.
I couldn't even put together my 15-month-old daughter's slide. That's like 2 feet by 3 feet.
Oh, wow.
Was there instructions?
There was screws, so I got scared.
Oh, my gosh.
Is she okay? Is safe?
My dad helped me.
Wow. Boy, your dad takes a lot of trips up here.
Fire pit.
Seriously.
Slide.
Does your dad ever come up here and just
Siding.
have a relaxing weekend?
No.
Where there's no duties for him to do?
He only comes up here because somebody honeydew. He's a honeydew for his son.
Can you watch the kid?
What he break now?
Daddy do.
Oh, trust me.
You think he has that, like, when he looks at his phone and sees a text from Ben?
You know why he's the best?
Oh,
because I sent him the picture of the air conditioning machine. Oh yeah, I got a guy. He does stuff in Wisconsin. If you need him, I'll figure out if you need the Freon or the part.
Is that how it talks?
A little bit. Figure out if you need the Freon or the part. And I'm like, Freon part? Like how?
What's Freon?
Freon you have to put in there, I think.
Oh
put
God!
Freon in there.
Brad saying what's Freon is amazing.
Yeah.
I just have a guy come surface it.
Yeah, they may have put.
Man, I wish I had your money. Damn.
Freon.
Yeah,
that sounds like a type of like clothing material.
No, I think
it makes sure your air conditioning's cool.
Yeah.
Lasagna takes back his drywall sign off that I'm not ready for drywall.
Man, if you could do drywall, that'd be.
Yes, Stevie, I assume that you didn't let them construct it. I was using you in jest to our issues.
Kyle,
in jest!
When you put a hole in your drywall, did you fix said drywall then?
No, it's still a little. It's not like a deep hole, but it's like a little.
You left it there?
We're pathetic.
Yeah,
that's sad.
The putty would have made it look worse.
Just because you hire somebody doesn't give you the opportunity
to fix some drywall holes.
Baloney.
I have. There's a kit.
Your
for that.
voice screams. I'm lying.
There's a kit for that.
Yeah, and we got some putty, but it's a little small. It's not. You can't see it through, but you can tell I started, and I said, I don't like this.
Oh my God.
The NBA lotteries tonight.
Sad.
Will that matter for Giannis Antetokounmpo? I hope it doesn't. Find out next together in 2 minutes.
I don't remember what I read. I don't remember what they said.
Well, we got delays northbound 43, basically coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way up to Keefe. On the southbound side, slowing from Capitol Drive down past Locust. Back on the brakes, heading through the Marquette all the way over the high-rise bridge down to the KK River. And then on northbound